how many of us get hooked.
Yes, Lord. And then guess
in
what?
areas and on things we should. You didn't get hooked because of the hook.
No.
We don't get hooked.
No,
we got hooked because of the bait.
Right. Right. And a good fisherman, country, but we've been to country boy, and a good fisherman also is like, listen, if they not biting this bait, I'm going to change bait.
I'm going to change bait. I'm going to keep changing bait.
I'm going to keep changing bait until I get what you like.
100%. Man, if we're going to reconstruct areas of our life, that has to be the posture of our heart. I'm explaining why in a minute. We got to be unoffendable. When you hear, I'm getting ready to show y'all this in Nehemiah. But when you hear unoffendable, like what comes to your mind?
Man, don't take it personal.
Because it's not.
It's not, and
it's about your purpose, not your person. And that's the attack.
Man, and when I tell you this is I'm receiving now.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the, I think that's a frequent weapon of the enemy to cause you to operate in offense, to make you build offense, to keep God out.
100%. It is, John Bevere calls it the bait of Satan.
The bait of Satan. Come on.
Now, I don't fish. You fish?
Yes.
Okay.
Good fisherman.
I know enough about fishermen.
Yes, sir.
Sufficient.
Yeah.
No, you need bait.
You need bait.
What's scary is, so this is the way it works, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, because people be getting like super technical in the chat. That's actually not how it works. You know what I mean? Right? But like, it's basically like, let's say if the bait is a worm, what the fish sees is the worm, right? But on the other side of the worm is a hook.
There's a hook.
They don't see the hook. They only see the worm.
Right.
So when they attempt to bite or swallow the worm, when they attempt to catch the worm, they get caught on the hook that's inside the worm that they don't see.
And guess what?
And that's the way offense works.
And guess what? A good fisherman is taught to always hide the hook.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Say it again.
A good fisherman is always taught to hide the hook.
Yes.
Because sometimes when you catch a fish the first time,
yes,
fish they're smart, they adapt, right? And so what happens is if they see a hook, they ain't gonna bite. And so what a good fisherman does is he places the hook in the bait in such a fashion that you don't see it until you caught it.
Come on. And that is Satan. That's Ephesians 6. The wiles or the methods or the strategies of the enemy. That's the book.
Yes, sir.
It says so he's gonna hide the hook in the bait.
Yes, sir.
And he's bait. Oh my God. So that's how many of us get hooked.
Yes, Lord. And then guess what?
In areas and on things we should. You didn't get hooked because of the hook.
No.
We don't get hooked.
No,
we got hooked because of the bait.
Right. Right. And a good fisherman, country, but we've been to country boy, and a good fisherman also is like, listen, if they not biting this bait, I'm going to change bait.
I'm going to change bait. I'm going to keep changing bait.
I'm going to keep changing bait until I get what you like.
100%. Listen, this is for people who want to, first of all, change their life and change others. You cannot do this without coaching and mentorship. I'm inviting you to allow me to be your coach and mentor. Become a part of my tribe called Daniel's Den, based on an individual in the Bible named Daniel, who had a marketplace mandate. God's people doing good work in the public sector for the common good, using their influence, impact, and income to change the world. You get to help other people by making a difference in the marketplace, but you also get to help yourself because you're going to have more peace, more productivity, more purpose, and more profit. I'll see you in the den. And the enemy uses offense as bait.
Come on.
I'm getting ready to show you something here in Nehemiah that's so important. Here's a revelation I got, Pastor. Reconstruction requires the currency. Currency is is something you exchange.
Medium of exchange, yes.
Yeah, it's a medium of exchange. It's something you exchange in return for something else. Got me? All right. So, reconstruction requires the currency of attention. The price of reconstruction The price you have to pay is you have to pay attention.
Lord Jesus, that's so good.
You cannot reconstruct
Come on.
without paying attention.
Ooh.
Got me? Because reconstruction requires focus. It requires you being locked in. It requires you ignoring some things in a season that you would give attention to,
Right.
but because you only have so much attention, you cannot spend attention where you used to spend attention, because what you're building now requires more attention. Now, come on now.
That's so
come
good.
on.
That's
See,
so
this is why you need people in your life that will accept the season that you're in
That's so good.
and not demand that you keep spending the currency of attention in this season that you no longer have to give. See, y'all not.
This is good to me, y'all. Lord.
See, because some of us are believing God to do greater things and amazing things. This is what it's going to cost you. Attention.
That's so good.
It's going to cost you time.
Yeah.
Right, come on.
Yeah.
And when it comes to hours, you only have 168 a week.
Right.
God's not giving any more. Everybody get the same 168 hours. God gives it to you, but he lets you and I steward it. We determine how we're going to spend it. And some people are used to you spending it a certain way. And when you stop spending it the way they're used to you spending it, they get offended like it's their attention. This mine. You got your 168 hours. I got my 168 hours. Why are you upset with me about the way I'm using mine?
That's so good. That's so good. And I think, again, it comes to that we can't be offended by their offense.
That's a word right there. But the enemy will use their offense.
He will use their offense to offend you. And I think that
I know that work on. I know it's been working on me. Because I get offended when people offended for no reason. I'm like, I'm mad that you mad. Why are you mad?
Why are you mad? You mad? I'm mad. Why? We both mad. I'm like, I'm mad that you.
I'm mad because I don't understand why you mad.
Don't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can see if I did something to harm you, but me not giving you what you want is not the same as me doing you wrong.
And you said something. I think we have to relabel people that we call friends who are offended by us trying to get better.
Gosh.
Is it really a friend?
That's right.
Who's offended by you trying to get better?
That's right.
Because you want more for your life, and because they don't want more for their life, they don't want you to have more for yours. And so I think that, this is a season, maybe we have to, in your book, Relation Intelligence, we have to assign, define, and assign.
Yeah, that's right.
And sometimes it's about reassigning. Hey, listen, you are no longer a part of my future, right? Like, if you can't respect me to grow, you get mad because of, okay.
Yeah. But that's real, though.
Yeah.
That's real. That's real life. The Bible says you know the truth. The truth sets you free. That word truth in the Greek in John is a word reality. That is literally the way it's translated in the Greek. The New Testament is written in Greek. So we said the Greek word is, now if you hear somebody reading something from the Old Testament and they're talking about the Greek word is, then maybe they read from the Septuagint, which is the whole Greek. But the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, right? So, right? The Greek word is like, but no, that wasn't written in Greek, bro. That was written in Hebrew.
Yeah, they pulled the Septuagint
and some of it was written in Aramaic, like some parts of Daniel was written in Aramaic. Right. But anyway, that's Bible U. That's Bible U. But anyway, the enemy uses the bait of offense.
Come on.
Because he wants to hook your attention.
That's so good.
Reconstruction requires your attention. And he wants to use the bait of offense to hook your attention. So you become obsessed with your offense and obsessed with those that are causing your offense.
That's so good. That's so good.
And this is exactly what Nehemiah, this is what he dealt with. Like, to reconstruct over, I know he had to be just like, because I want to give people some context on Nehemiah.
Okay.
And we talked about this in, I think the first series we did in Nehemiah was called Under Construction. And now we're in Reconstruction. And so in Under Construction, I only got to chapters 1 and 2. So we've gotten to chapters 3, and we're talking about chapter 4 tonight. Right. So we're making way more ground than I did. Right. But Nehemiah was actually good. He was a cupbearer for a king.
That's so, yep.
He was not in Jerusalem. He was in a palace.
Man.
Had a job, had access to the king. When we look at all the king did, he had favor with the king.
He had favor, right.
So he was probably living well. You understand what I'm saying? And when his brother came to see him, he asked about the state of Jerusalem.
Yep.
Because this Persian king allowed Israel to go back into their homeland, right? So Nehemiah asked like how things going, and the brother's like, it's terrible. So now his heart is burdened. He's grieved. Watch this. So he accepts an assignment to help people that can't help him. Because he wasn't, like when you read Nehemiah's story, we're going to look at this a little bit later. Nehemiah goes back to his job after the assignment is complete. So he wasn't rebuilding the walls in Jerusalem for him. He was rebuilding the walls in Jerusalem for them. Now, I want somebody to hear me, because this is what some people are dealing with. You are engaging in activity in an attempt to assist somebody else in making the quality of their life better.
Right.
And you're dealing with attacks and accusations, not for trying to improve your life. You're dealing with attacks and accusations in your attempt to improve somebody else's.